Imagine being sentenced to death by the church, your only escape, a paintbrush. This is Caravaggio's story, a tormented genius who transformed his crime into one of history's most devastating masterpieces. Welcome back. Today we're uncovering the hidden secrets within The Beheading of St. John the Baptist, a work so brutal and so brilliant that it challenges everything we believe art should be. Rome, 1660. Caravaggio, brilliant, violent, constantly in trouble, gets into an illegal duel with a man named Ranuccio Tomasani. The fight is vicious. Tomasani doesn't survive. The Pope issues a death warrant. Bando capitale. Anyone can kill him and claim a reward by presenting his head. Caravaggio tries painting his way out. He creates David with the head of Goliath, painting himself as the decapitated head, a dark plea to spare his life. It doesn't work. Then he receives an unexpected offer: flee to Malta, become a Knight of the Order of St. John, and you might earn redemption in Rome. He takes it. Malta in 1607 isn't a paradise. It's a military fortress controlled by the Knights Hospitaller, an ancient crusading order with absolute authority and zero tolerance for dissent. The Grandmaster, Aleph de Wignacourt, has a problem. Malta is culturally desolate. No great artists want to live there. Then Caravaggio arrives. Wignacourt immediately recognizes the opportunity. He'll grant the artist knighthood and sanctuary. In return, he gets artistic legitimacy his court desperately needs. And there's another layer. Once Caravaggio becomes a knight, military obligations bind him to Malta. He can't leave. The trap is elegant. To prove his loyalty, Caravaggio is commissioned to paint the ultimate work, an altarpiece for the co-cathedral of Valletta, depicting St. John the Baptist's execution. But Caravaggio doesn't paint a saint's martyrdom. He paints a murder. We're not watching from a distance. We're inside the prison. We're witnessing the brutality. St. John lies on the ground. His executioner, just a soldier doing his job, calmly performs his duty. There's no heavenly intervention, no angel, just blood, inevitability, and the crushing weight of state power. Salome holds a golden plate to catch the severed head, her pale skin contrasting horrifyingly with the violence around her. And Salome's maid does something extraordinary. She doesn't cover her eyes. She covers her ears, trying to unhear the screams. It's an act of such profound humanity that it pierces through the painting's horror. In the shadows, two prisoners crane their necks, drawn by morbid fascination. They represent us, the viewers, implicated in our own voyeurism. Here's where this becomes extraordinary. Caravaggio signed this painting. It's the only painting he ever signed, but he didn't sign it normally. He signed it in the blood dripping from St. John's severed neck. The signature reads, F. Michelangelo. The F stands for Fra, honoring his status as a knight. This isn't just artistic flair, it's a theological statement, a confession, a metamorphosis. By signing in the martyr's blood, Caravaggio was declaring, my blood is his blood, my death is his death. My resurrection is his resurrection. He's not asking for forgiveness. He's declaring himself already forgiven through the power of art itself. Through creating, he transforms his crime into sanctity. Every element carries meaning. St. John wears red, the symbol of martyrdom, and lies on sheep's wool, evoking Christ, the innocent lamb. The executioner remains in shadow because violence is impersonal, bureaucratic, mundane when it's state power. The space is vast and empty, yet suffocating. The chiaroscuro, extreme light and shadow, suggests that moral clarity is impossible. Good and evil blur together. This is Baroque anxiety. This is a man negotiating his salvation through paint and pigment. For a brief moment, everything works. Caravaggio is knighted, celebrated, creating masterpieces. Wignacourt is thrilled. But something shifts. Maybe he realized Malta was another prison. Maybe the weight of his crime never left him. Maybe he simply couldn't be tamed. At some point, Caravaggio, alongside other knights, attacks a high-ranking member of the order and causes such embarrassment that Wignacourt snaps. Caravaggio is thrown into the Goire, an underground prison so escape-proof that no one was ever believed to have escaped. No one until Caravaggio. Using mysterious means, he scales the prison walls, descends into the harbor, finds a boat. Whether he had help or used sheer determination, no one knows. But suddenly, this convicted murderer turned knight, turned prisoner, is free again. He flees to Sicily, then Naples, where he's brutally attacked in the street. Word comes that the Pope's nephew is offering a pardon. Caravaggio begins traveling to Rome to claim it. He never makes it. Somewhere on the journey, he dies. The exact circumstances remain a mystery. The beheading of St. John the Baptist remained in the co-cathedral for centuries. For years, no one noticed the signature hidden in the blood. It took restoration work to reveal Caravaggio's secret plea for salvation written in the very substance that had condemned him. Here's something remarkable about this painting's construction. It's absolutely massive, over 12 feet wide and nearly 11 feet tall, making it Caravaggio's largest work. The scale isn't just for spectacle. When you stand before it in person, the life-size figures create an immersive experience that's almost theatrical. You're not observing a scene, you're participating in it. The architectural setting mirrors the actual prison courtyard of the co-cathedral, blurring the boundary between painted fiction and physical reality. Caravaggio even left the background intentionally sparse and dark, using what art historians call tenebrous technique, pushing darkness to its absolute limit to make the violence feel claustrophobic and inescapable. Notice how the blood pooling beneath St. John forms an irregular shape, almost like a map of guilt spreading across the stone floor. It's not decorative, it's forensic. What's haunting is how Caravaggio portrays the moment between life and death. St. John isn't quite dead yet. His hand is reaching out in a final gesture of awareness. The executioner has to draw a knife to complete what the sword couldn't finish. This isn't a clean, heroic martyrdom. It's messy, prolonged, agonizing, the kind of death that forces us to confront our own mortality and moral cowardice. When this painting was unveiled on August 29, 1608, during the feast of the beheading of St. John the Baptist, it must have stunned the assembled knights. They expected glorification. Instead, they received confrontation. They expected piety. Instead, they received a mirror reflecting their own complicity in violence, power, and the machinery of death. Caravaggio wasn't just painting for the church. He was painting against comfortable faith. This painting is more than religious art. It's a confession. It's a prayer. It's a scream. It's Caravaggio's final argument with God, a demand for meaning in a universe offering none. And that's what makes it a masterpiece. Thank you for watching. If you appreciated this exploration of Caravaggio's genius and torment, please like and subscribe. What draws you to artists who create from chaos and pain,